Hey, what it does? Welcome to another edition of Torens Take, and this time we're guessing the NHL playoffs. But first, please like, share, subscribe, do all that cool stuff because, hey, why not? It's good content, right? You see all my reactions, you get great picks like this, and you get to see sick jerseys like this. Why not? Okay, so the NHL's been a little weird this year. I mean, no fans. It's been, honestly, weird. I haven't watched a single game outside of Canada. Like, I have no idea what's going on. I know Colorado's good. I know Vegas is good, and they're in the same division. Somehow Carolina and Florida are good all of a sudden. What? How does that happen? So with this advanced knowledge of what's happened this year in the NHL, I'm going to tell you my picks who are going to win the Stanley Cup Final. Now, really, I couldn't care less. I don't give a flying about who's going to win the Stanley Cup this year. This team's not in it, so I don't care. But hey, they still playing, and they playing right now. Go Canucks, go baby. So yeah, point is, I don't care who wins as long as it's not a Canadian team. God, I could not stand a Canadian team winning that isn't the Canucks. Lord, the media. Okay, but seriously, let's get to the picks now. Like I said, very limited knowledge about what happened this year. So we're just going to start picking randomly, but I'll start with the division I know most, which is the North Division. No, I'm not going to say the media is there in front of it because, frankly, I don't know what they are, and I don't want to say them. They're not sponsoring me, so... Okay, so Toronto is the 1 seed. They'll be taking on the 4 seed, that is the Montreal Canadiens. The Montreal Canadiens have been not good this year. They started well. Toffoli scored like 1 million goals against the Canucks, and they looked really good. And then they fired their coach, and everything kind of changed. They sucked, and then they were kind of good, but then they sucked again. And I don't know what's happening with that team. They're not very good. Toronto, they haven't been great either. They have a lot of points, but think about it. They've been playing really crappy teams. Toronto probably gonna win. I mean, like, why wouldn't they? It would be, I think, an upset if Montreal won. So Toronto, they're gonna move on to the semifinals. Or quarterfinals? I guess it's the quarters. I don't know. The other one in the Canadian division is the Oilers versus the Winnipeg Jets. And, I mean, again, Winnipeg is, god damn it, Josh Levo, really? Really? Anyway, the Jets have been not good this year. They've been mediocre at best. Hellebuck won the Vezina last year. Where the hell has he been? He's been okay. Mike Smith, what a goaltender, and yet he's having a good year. Like, what the hell? What the hell's going on with this? Edmonton's going to win this one pretty easily, probably 5 games. That makes Toronto and Edmonton in the final, or I guess the division final, I guess. I don't know, man. I don't know. This NHL's weird. So Toronto and Edmonton, both kind of good teams this year. If I'm being honest, frankly, whoever wins this series is going to get annihilated in the next series, pretty much. So anyway, I guess, you know, other than, you know, McDavid and Draisaitl, Edmonton doesn't really have anybody else. Their goaltending, like I said, Mike Smith's been good this year, but it's Mike Smith. He could turn to in really 2 games. It could go bad for them. Toronto, they ain't much better. They don't have a star-studded lineup either. They have like a fourth line of like 40-year-olds. Their goaltender, I don't even know who the goaltender is. Is it going to be Frederik Andersen? I don't freaking know. Doesn't matter. I don't know. Pick Toronto. That's where my gut is going. I think Toronto's going to win, and they'll win the Canadian division. Ho ho! So that puts them into the Final Four. Now, I should reiterate what's happening here. So the divisions are now our 4 teams that came out of each division. They play a little kind of playoff, and then the winners of each division go into a Final Four group, and that's what happens. So we'll move over to the Central? Whatever. It's the one with Colorado, St. Louis, Vegas, and the Wild? Really? Well, they have Kaprizov. Weird. Okay, so we'll start with Colorado, who was the number 1. They were the President's Trophy winners. This year, they're going to play the Blues. Former Colorado Avalanche player Ryan O'Reilly said, "We're going to kick the Avalanche's butt." Well, the Avalanche won 5 straight games heading into the playoffs. I feel like that's pretty good, and St. Louis got ousted by this team last year. So I'm going to pick Colorado. They've been a good team. They're a really good team. That team is built. The team is stacked. Philip Grubauer is a pretty good goalie, so I don't see why the Avalanche won't win this game. Vegas and Minnesota. Now, this is the one series I have a tidbit on, and it's pretty obvious. The Wild are 5-2 against Vegas this year. How weird is that? The Minnesota Wild, 5-2 against Vegas. That's weird. And you know what? That's good enough for me. I think the Wild are going to beat the Vegas Golden Knights because, hey man, screw the Vegas Golden Knights. And you know what? The Wild, that's a pretty good record against a team. So let's pick them. That leaves Avalanche and Wild. And the Wild did not have as good of a record against the Avalanche. So, like I said, I think the Avalanche are a little too built, a little too strong. Unless Kaprizov goes off, pretty easy. Colorado, they're going to the Final Four. To the other side, to the Eastern, no, that's the Metropolitan Division. I don't know what these divisions are called. I really I should have watched my own video. There's a video I posted about the NHL season, what's happening. It explained everything. So I should have watched that before, honestly. Anyway, so the number 1 team is the Pittsburgh Penguins. And again, I don't really know how. And the number 4 team is the Islanders, who have been pretty good this year, except they kind of fell off at the end of the year. So they're playing each other. You know what? Screw it. I don't want Pittsburgh to win. I'm picking the Islanders just because I think they have a really good team. Barry Trotz is a really good head coach. I think the Islanders are better than they've been in recent times. So I'm going to pick the Islanders. On the other side, you got the Washington Capitals against the Boston Bruins. And everybody pick Boston. If you know this team, you know why I don't like Boston. But, I mean, they've been pretty good this year, I think, right? But Washington's also good. Washington won a cup 2 years ago. So that's pretty cool. I think they have more firepower there. I don't think Boston's going to be there. I think Boston's going to fall off. I think the Capitals are going to move on to play the Islanders. So the Islanders are now playing the Capitals in the quarterfinals of that division. And who's going to win? I don't know. Both good teams, but I really like the Islanders. I think like I said, I think they've been a good team this year. They fell off. They're going to come back. They're going to play great. Islanders are going to beat the Capitals, and the Islanders are going to go to the Final Four. How weird is that? And on the other side, this is the division that has Carolina, oh, right, they're in the East this year. Weird. Nashville Predators, Florida Panthers, and the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Battle of Florida. So Carolina is taking on the Predators. Carolina is stacked. When did this team get so good? They've been amazing at building a roster. They have a great goalie in Peter Mrazek. They have Teravainen. They have Sebastian Aho. They got a really good team. This is a really well-built team. The Hurricanes have been good. The Predators were terrible, almost sellers at the deadline, started winning, and now they're in the playoffs. So you never really know what you're going to get, but I think it would be a pretty big upset for the Predators to beat the Hurricanes. Hurricanes, moving on. The Battle of Florida. Who would have thought this could be a great series? Tampa Bay, last year's Stanley Cup champions, playing the Florida Panthers, who were supposed to be good last year, were terrible last year, and now all of a sudden they're really good again. Sergei Bobrovsky is playing well this year. So that'll be an interesting series. I don't know how it's going to go. It's, honestly, a toss-up. I'm going to pick Florida because I think they're a good team. I think they have a chance to go deep. So yeah, let's pick Florida. So this is going to be a fun one, right? I think this could be a really good series. It's got the Hurricanes. It's got the Panthers. I kind of like the Hurricanes. I'm not going to lie. Ever since 2006 when they won the Cup, I've always kind of had a little soft spot. I cheered for them against the Oilers because the Oilers. Yeah, so it should be a good seed. It should be a good team. Good series. Probably 5 or 6 games. Potentially 7, but I'm going to pick the Hurricanes. I think, like I said, I think this team has been really good this year. That team is stacked, and they're ready to make a run. Okay, so we're in the Final Four. We have Colorado, we have Toronto, and then we have Hurricanes against the Islanders. Let's start with the Avalanche against the Maple Leafs, and holy crap, it's not going to be close. You know what? It's going to be a sweep. It's going to be a big sweep. Colorado is going to wipe the floor with Toronto, and it's going to be glorious. Okay, but hear me out on this. Hear me out on this. Toronto has played Vancouver. They've played Ottawa. They've played Montreal. They've played the Jets. They've played Edmonton. All teams have been pretty mediocre, including the Toronto Maple Leafs. Yeah, okay, they have kind of the similar points to like a team like, you know, Colorado and Vegas. But Colorado and Vegas were in the same division, and they competed for the President's Trophy against each other. That's how good that division was. They've been playing talent all year long. The Leafs had not been playing talent all year long. It's a sweep. Avalanche are going to the Stanley Cup. There's no. You know what? Whoever you pick out of the Canadian division to go to the Final Four, and if you're picking them to win any sort of games, no, they're going to get annihilated by even whoever comes out of that division. It could be the Wild for all I know, and they're going to crush the team. No Canadian team's going to win this year. They do, I don't know. What should I do? Should I do something like buy a Leafs jersey, get a haircut with a Leafs logo on it? I don't know, but they're not going to win. Okay, on the other side now, we got the Hurricanes, we got the Islanders. It's going to be a pretty good series. That's going to be a high-scoring series. It's going to be so good. That's a series I'd be excited for to watch. Now, who did you pick? Who's going to go to the Stanley Cup Final? The Islanders or the Hurricanes, right? Like, who? I don't know. But the Islanders are really good, and they're well coached. Oh, I want to pick Carolina, but I want to pick... Ooh. We're flipping a coin. Okay, I got a Canadian loonie right here. I don't know if you can see it because my lighting is terrible. I should clarify. This lighting is terrible. I have the sun right here coming in on me. Actually, does that make the lighting better? No, it makes it absolutely worse. And all I have is a ring light to show for it, so I don't really have great lighting. Anyway, here is my loonie. I'm gonna flip it. Heads, Carolina. Tails, the Islanders. It's tails. The New York Islanders are going to the Stanley Cup Final. What? Okay, so we're in the Stanley Cup Final. It's the Avalanche against the Islanders, and oh boy, this could be really fun. Semyon Varlamov, the former Avalanche goaltender, going back to play Colorado in the Stanley Cup. The storylines. Okay, it's not that really big of a storyline, but it should be good. But again, Colorado's been so good this year. This team has been waiting for it. I mean, that team is so well built. Joe Sakic has made something amazing there. So, I mean, again, I think 5 or 6 games. Let's go 6. We're going to pick 6 games, and it's going to be the Colorado Avalanche because the Islanders, I just don't think are there yet. I think they're close, but they're not there yet. The Avalanche are there. They're waiting. They're winning. So the Colorado Avalanche, yeah, they're probably going to win the Stanley Cup. Those are my predictions for the NHL playoffs. I'm sorry for the lighting. Like I said, I have a ring light and sun against me. It gets sunny later. I can't do this at like 10 o'clock at night. I work at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. If you like my picks, please comment and share who you think is going to win. And if you hated my picks, well, haha, it sucks because these picks could be great. I don't know, but they could be. And if you learn anything from me, they probably won't be. Anyway, thanks for watching What It Does. We'll see you again very soon with some new reactions. And be sure to check out my podcast, Discontinued Gravy, with my friend Krista. We talk about everything that's cool. Follow us, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. We're even on YouTube, Discontinued Gravy. Check us out. What It Does. Have a good one.